Hi kids! And in today's video, we're going to be learning the ABCs using our alphabet soup sorters. Let's do it! Okay kids, let's begin. Repeat after me. A. I wonder what's inside. I can tell there are so many words that begin with the letter A. Let's look inside. Let's see what's inside. Are you ready? Look! It's an uppercase A. Let's see what's next. I have the lowercase a. Next we have the ant. Ant begins with the letter A. Let's see what's next. This ape. Ape begins with the letter A. Let's see what's next. Alligator. Alligator begins with the letter A. Let's see what's next. It's an acorn. Acorn begins with the letter A. And the last one is apple. Apple begins with the letter A. Okay, and now let's put everything back into our soup can. Let's clean up. We have apple, ape, acorn, alligator, ant. We have our lowercase a and an uppercase A. And now let's go to our next letter of the alphabet, letter B. Let's see what's inside. We have our uppercase B. We have our lowercase b. Let's find all the words that begin with the letter B. Repeat after me. Buttons. Buttons begin with the letter B. Book. Book begins with the letter B. Box. Box begins with the letter B. Ball. Ball begins with the letter B. Banana. Banana begins with the letter B. And the last one is a bicycle. Bicycle begins with the letter B. Now let's put everything back. We have a bicycle, a ball, a book, a box, buttons, a banana. We have our lowercase b and the uppercase B. The next letter of the alphabet is C. Let's open our soup can up and see what's inside. We have the uppercase C. We have the lowercase c. Corn. Corn begins with the letter C. Cat. Cat begins with the letter C. Cow. Cow begins with the letter C. Cookie. Cookie begins with the letter C. And the last one is cake. Cake begins with the letter C. Now let's put everything back. We have cake, cow, corn, cookie, cat. We have the lowercase c and the uppercase C. The next letter of the alphabet is D. Let's open up our soup can and discover what's inside. We have the uppercase D. We have the lowercase d. We have the dragonfly. Dragonfly begins with the letter D. Dice. Dice begins with the letter D. Donut. Donut begins with the letter D. Duck. Duck begins with the letter D. And the last one is dog. Dog begins with the letter D. Great job! Now let's put everything back. We have dog, duck, dragonfly, dice, donut, lowercase d, and the uppercase D. The next letter of the alphabet is E. Let's look inside our soup can. Are you ready? Repeat after me. Uppercase E. Lowercase e. What begins with the letter E? Eagle. Envelope. Elephant. Egg. And the last one is 11. Great job! Now let's put everything back. 11, elephant, egg, eagle, envelope, lowercase e, and the uppercase E. The next letter of the alphabet is F. Let's look inside our soup can and see what begins with the letter F. Uppercase F, lowercase f. Don't forget to repeat after me. Fan. Fan begins with the letter F. Fork. Fork begins with the letter F. Fox. Fox begins with the letter F. Fence. Fence begins with the letter F. Fish. Fish begins with the letter F. And the last one is firefighter. Firefighter begins with the letter F. Now let's put everything back. We have the fox, the fence, fan, fork, firefighter, fish, lowercase f, and the uppercase F. Great job! The next letter of the alphabet is G. Let's open up our soup can and see what begins with the letter G. Uppercase G, lowercase g. Girl, girl, girl begins with the letter G. Guitar, guitar begins with the letter G. Goat, goat begins with the letter G. Gift, gift begins with the letter G. The last one is goose. Goose begins with the letter G. Great job! Now let's put everything back. Gift, guitar, girl, goose, goat, lowercase g, and uppercase G. Great job! You're doing so well. The next letter of the alphabet is H. Let's open our soup can and see what words begin with the letter H. Uppercase H, lowercase h. Kids, don't forget to repeat after me. Hippo. Hippo begins with the letter H. Hat. Hat begins with the letter H. Horse. Horse begins with the letter H. House. House begins with the letter H. And the last one is hen. Hen begins with the letter H. Great job! Now let's put everything back. Hen, hat, house, hippo, horse, lowercase h, and uppercase H. The next letter of the alphabet is I. Let's see what begins with the letter I. Uppercase I. Lowercase I. Ink. Ink begins with the letter I. Ice cream. Ice cream begins with the letter I. Ice. Ice begins with the letter I. Iron. Iron begins with the letter I. And the last one is igloo. Igloo begins with the letter I. Great job! Let's put everything back. Ready? Igloo, ice, iron, ice cream, ink, lowercase I, and the uppercase I. The next letter of the alphabet is J. Let's look inside and see what begins with the letter J. Uppercase J, lowercase j. Jar. Jar begins with the letter J. Jam. Jam begins with the letter J. Jacket. Jacket begins with the letter J. Juice. Juice begins with the letter J. And the last one is jet. Jet begins with the letter J. Great job! Now let's put everything back. We have jet, juice, jam, jacket, jar, lowercase j, and the uppercase J. Great job! The next letter of the alphabet is K. Open our soup can and see what begins with the letter K. Uppercase K, lowercase k. Koala. Koala begins with the letter K. Key. Key begins with the letter K. Kangaroo. Kangaroo begins with the letter K. Kite. Kite begins with the letter K. And the last one is king. King begins with the letter K. Now let's put everything back. King, key, koala, kangaroo, kite, lowercase k, and the uppercase K. The next letter of the alphabet is L. Let's open our soup can and see what begins with the letter L. Uppercase L. Lamp. Lamp begins with the letter L. Lion. Lion begins with the letter L. Leaf. Leaf begins with the letter L. Lemon. Lemon begins with the letter L. And the last one is log. Log begins with the letter L. Now let's put everything back. Log, lemon, leaf, lion, lamp, uppercase L. The next letter of the alphabet is M. Let's open our soup can and see what begins with the letter M. Uppercase M, lowercase m. Magnet. Magnet begins with the letter M. Mushroom. Mushroom begins with the letter M. Milk. Milk begins with the letter M. Mouse. Mouse begins with the letter M. Mama. Mama begins with the letter M. And the last one is mittens. Mittens begin with the letter M. Great job! Now let's put everything back. Mittens, mouse, mushroom, mama, milk, magnet, lowercase m, and uppercase M. The next letter of the alphabet is N. Let's see what begins with the letter N. N. Net. Net begins with the letter N. Nest. Nest begins with the letter N. Nurse. Nurse begins with the letter N. Nuts. Nuts begins with the letter N. And the last one is newspaper. Newspaper begins with the letter N. Now let's put everything back. Newspaper, nuts, nurse, net, nest, N. Great job! The next letter of the alphabet is O. Let's see what begins with the letter O. Uppercase O. Lowercase o. Otter. Otter begins with the letter O. Octopus. Octopus begins with the letter O. Oatmeal. Oatmeal begins with the letter O. Ostrich. Ostrich begins with the letter O. And the last one is orange. Orange begins with the letter O. Now let's put everything back. Orange, oatmeal, otter, octopus, ostrich, lowercase o, and uppercase O. You're doing so well. The next letter of the alphabet is P. Let's open our soup can and see what begins with the letter P. Uppercase P, lowercase p. Repeat after me. Peas, pear. Pear begins with the letter P. Pig. Pig begins with the letter P. Pie. Pie begins with the letter P. And the last one is pumpkin. Pumpkin begins with the letter P. Now let's put everything back. Pumpkin, pie, peas, pig, pear, lowercase p, and uppercase P. Great job! The next letter of the alphabet is Q. Let's see what begins with the letter Q. Uppercase Q, lowercase q. Quail. Quail begins with the letter Q. Quiet. Shh. Quiet begins with the letter Q. Queen. Queen begins with the letter Q. Quilt. Quilt begins with the letter Q. And the last one is question mark. Question mark begins with the letter Q. Now let's put everything back. Repeat after me. Question mark. Quilt. Quiet. Quail. Queen. Lowercase q and uppercase Q. The next letter of the alphabet is R. Let's see what begins with the letter R. Letter R. Rock. Rock begins with the letter R. Raisins. Raisins begin with the letter R. Rake. Rake begins with the letter R. Robot. Robot begins with the letter R. And the last one is ring. Ring begins with the letter R. Now let's put everything back. Ring, rake, raisins, rock, robot, R. The next letter of the alphabet is S. Let's see what begins with the letter S. Uppercase S, lowercase s. Now repeat after me. Soup. Soup begins with the letter S. Saw. Saw begins with the letter S. Seal. Seal begins with the letter S. Socks. Socks begin with the letter S. And the last one is sunflower. Sunflower begins with the letter S. Now let's put everything back. Socks, saw, seal, soup, sunflower, lowercase s, and uppercase S. The next letter of the alphabet is T. Let's open up our soup can and see what words begin with the letter T. Uppercase T, lowercase t. Repeat after me. Tooth. Tooth begins with the letter T. Turtle. Turtle begins with the letter T. Table. Table begins with the letter T. Turkey. Turkey begins with the letter T. Taxi. Taxi begins with the letter T. And the last one is tiger. Tiger begins with the letter T. Now let's put everything back. Table, tooth, tiger, turkey, taxi, turtle, lowercase t, and uppercase T. The next letter of the alphabet is U. Let's see what begins with the letter U. U. Now repeat after me. Umbrella. Umbrella begins with the letter U. Uniform. Uniform begins with the letter U. Unicorn. Unicorn begins with the letter U. Utensils. Utensils begin with the letter U. And the last one is unicycle. Unicycle begins with the letter U. Now let's put everything back. Utensils, unicycle, a uniform, umbrella, unicorn, U. The next letter of the alphabet is V. Let's see what begins with the letter V. Uppercase V, lowercase v. Now repeat after me. Vegetables. Vegetables begin with the letter V. Vacuum. Vacuum begins with the letter V. Van. Van begins with the letter V. Violin. Violin begins with the letter V. And the last one is vase. Vase begins with the letter V. Now let's put everything back. Violin, vase, van, vacuum, vegetables, lowercase v, and uppercase V. Great job! The next letter of the alphabet is W. Let's open our soup can and see what begins with the letter W. Don't forget to repeat after me. Uppercase W, lowercase w, window, wagon. Wagon begins with the letter W. Waffles. Waffles begin with the letter W. And the last one is watch. Watch begins with the letter W. Now let's put everything back. Waffles, watch, window, wagon, lowercase w, and uppercase W. The next letter of the alphabet is X. Let's see what begins with the letter X. Uppercase X, lowercase x, X-ray, and the last one is xylophone. Xylophone begins with the letter X. Now let's put everything back. X-ray, xylophone, lowercase x, and uppercase X. The next letter of the alphabet is Y. Let's see what begins with the letter Y. Uppercase Y, lowercase y. Now repeat after me. Yogurt. Yogurt begins with the letter Y. Yak. Yak begins with the letter Y. Yarn. Yarn begins with the letter Y. Yo-yo. Yo-yo begins with the letter Y. And the last one is yawn. Yawn begins with the letter Y. Now let's put everything back. Yo-yo, yarn, yak, yogurt, yawn, lowercase y, and uppercase Y. The next letter of the alphabet is Z. Z is the last letter of the alphabet. Are you ready to see what begins with the letter Z? Let's do it. Uppercase Z, lowercase z. Repeat after me. Zebra. Zebra begins with the letter Z. Zero. Zero begins with the letter Z. Zucchini. Zucchini begins with the letter Z. Zigzag. Zigzag begins with the letter Z. And the last one is zipper. Zipper begins with the letter Z. Great job! Now let's put everything back. Zipper, zigzag, zero, zebra, zucchini, lowercase z, and uppercase Z. We did it! These are all the letters of the alphabet from A to Z. Now let's sing our song. Dear parents, if you like this video for your kids, make sure to hit the subscribe button, as we will be putting up a lot more educational contents for your little ones to learn. Thank you and have a wonderful day. See you next time.